I'm Shannon Sandidge with Denver-based Exogen. We provide data science as a service. I am here in celebration of International Women's Day to share with you my thoughts on innovation and creative problem solving. From my perspective, that requires three things: objectivity, assimilation, and action, or in its abbreviated form, ooh-ah. As an example, I want to use a woman who had a huge impact on today's technology. Who is this innovator and what was her invention? Well, her invention is known in modern parlance as spread spectrum. In her day, it was known as frequency hopping. Now, like most technologies, it was used first in a military application. So who is this inventor? She was a very unlikely person. She was, in fact, quite well known, completely separate from technology, had a career that was very successful, and inventing was her hobby. She was, in fact, a Hollywood movie star, widely known as the most beautiful woman in the world, Hedy Lamarr. So, Hedy Lamarr dropped out of school at age 16 to become an actor. She immigrated from Austria to Hollywood in the run-up to World War II, before the U.S. became involved in the fight against Hitler. She was horrified by German U-boats that sank a ship with British civilians on it, and she was determined to develop a counter-technology. That technology was a radio-controlled torpedo that randomly switched frequencies to avoid jamming. This last bit is what became known as spread spectrum. So, you'll ask me, what does this have to do with the ooh-ah of problem solving? Well, I'm going to skip over the details of how Austrian and German weapons experts were discussing their projects right in front of her. But it was by leveraging that knowledge that she had an idea of what would solve the problem. And she knew she needed some help with how to build it. So she recruited as her design partner George Antheil, who was not an inventor, but a composer. They found inspiration and utility in two existing technologies. The first was the first commercially available wireless remote control. It was designed to change the radio station from across the room. The second existing technology were the punched scrolls used in player pianos. This last bit of the puzzle was contributed by George, who had a history of composing specifically for synchronized player pianos. So, Hedy had the idea of what would solve the problem, and she had the objectivity to recognize the problem, figure out what would solve it, and recruit assistance from somebody who had compatible skills. So she and George assimilated their knowledge of weapons, remote controls, and player pianos, and Hedy took action. Think about it. Hedy was young. She was 26 years old. She had no formal education. She had no technical pedigree. She was, in fact, quite well known for her beauty, not her brains. But it didn't stop her. She innovated. In fact, the solution that she and George developed was so advanced that it wasn't used operationally for another 26 years, I think. So, in 1942, after they got a patent, George and Hedy offered their device to the Navy to use in defense against the U-boats. The Navy, however, rejected use of the torpedo and its guidance system for use during World War II. They did, however, keep the patent. Ultimately, spread spectrum was used in a variety of technologies, including the radio guidance for rockets, missiles, drones, the U.S. Air Force's deep space program. It was also the basis of cell phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. The economic impact of Hedy's invention is estimated at nearly $200 billion, of which she got none. In fact, it wasn't until 1997 that she was fully recognized for her contribution to technology. At age 82, Hedy Lamarr received the 6th Annual Pioneer Award from the Electronic Frontier Foundation. So in the future, when you are facing a daunting problem to solve, it is my hope that Hedy Lamarr inspires you to bring the ooh-ah, objectivity, assimilation, and action. Thank you. By the way, the material for my talk came from this book, which I highly recommend. Yes?
Did you say spread spectrum, red spectrum, or?
Spread spectrum, which, by the way, is a tongue tire for me. Spread spectrum.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Anything else? Any other questions? Thank you.